Your life.
Welcome to PNN KEXU People's Revolutionary Radio on 96.1 FM on the dial in Oakland and streaming on live online at www.pomagazine.org/radio. This is your co-host, formerly houseless, land liberator, and hopefulness resident D. Allen. In studio with fellow poets and formerly houseless, poverty scholars, Tiny and Mutiato Silencio, Francis Mo and Mo.
If it had been up to the tree, Benito would be free. The birds whispered to Benito, be careful because the pile of tricksters and the liars are coming. And he said, us displaced elders, we've stopped running. But the trees knew and the sky knew and the wind blew in collaboration with Donatu, and they all murmured his name, Benito, aquí estamos y no nos vamos, we will not go. And then he rode in the sky and whispered to the wind, and he consulted with the trees, and he came to People's School and taught us all about the Pinche Housing Authority. Benito lives in every displaced reclaimer who refuses to go. Benito para siempre presente, because the rent is and always will be a lie, and always is and will be too damn high. Rest in revolution, teacher, leader, warrior, reclaimer, Benito Flores, O Mateo. So that was my love you worry for Benito Flores, a powerful warrior with the Reclaiming Our Homes. We had the blessing of working with and walking with and witnessing his power and his refusal to give up. We are dedicating today's show to teacher, warrior, and poverty scholar Benito Flores and all of the ancestors that we've lost of eviction in this pinche capitalist system.
Stay tuned because in a minute, we will speak to comrades from Reclaiming Our Homes to learn more about the warrior ancestor Benito Flores, who died fighting for his home in occupied Tavangar, aka so-called LA. And then we'll focus on Crushing Wheelchairs, a powerful movie which focuses on 6 ancestors of homelessness in a movie created, written, and lived by all of its houseless, formerly houseless, poverty scholars who are dying from the violence called sweeps.
So it's our blessing right now to invite in a powerful warrior who is one of the founders of Reclaiming Our Homes. If people don't know about that work, it's just some powerful relatives in resistance.
An interview right now.
And we wanted to make sure that we lift up her story and the history of the work and the revolution that was Benito Flores, and that couldn't be with anyone else but Roberto Flores. Welcome to Poor People's Radio.
Thank you. With me is Aminta Avalos, who also worked closely with Benito. And so thank you for asking us to be here.
For sure. Thank you, guys. Can you, first of all, maybe start a little bit, let us know a little bit, let listeners and viewers know what is Reclaiming Our Homes?
Okay, Reclaiming Our Homes was an organization that started almost 6 years ago in October of 2019. We experienced a situation where there were many people living on the bluff here, and at the same time we had 80 empty houses, state houses, and we felt that there was a very glaring and painful contradiction. Then we saw what the Mothers of Oakland did, and we thought, well, we were very inspired by that, and we thought that given that these were state homes and what the mothers took were a private home that we should have easier time hanging on to these houses. And so, inspired by moms, we organized for 3 or 4 months to take over 24 state homes
Oh,
that were empty.
Ashe.
And
That's beautiful.
so we placed different people. Maria, do you want to come and say something? Um, one of the reclaimers is another of the reclaimers. Get a chair. Is Maria. Maria, and she could maybe tell a little bit about what in terms of defining what reclaiming our homes is. She can explain her little slice of the story so you can get a feeling for what we did.
Oh,
Thank you, Maria.
Which meeting is this one?
Hmm?
Which meeting? What are we meeting?
Oh, this is a radio and Oakland.
Okay.
People
Hi.
for radio.
Okay.
Bienvenida.
Muchas gracias. It's a pleasure being here today. The Lord knows when you wake up and walk out. He knows already the plan for ourselves, right? I haven't been coming around because I'm one of the reclaimers that from the 12 families that we took the homes. As Roberto was saying, we mimicked the mothers in Oakland, and we were some tremendous families, just full of faith, hoping, to be housed. And we went through very many scenarios, awful times, abused, accused, judged, and all we wanted to do is help ourselves. I'm one of the people that came in, and I was very struggling, sleeping right across from this office, actually. And I had my partner, which he joined me, and we were on Poplar Street. And my partner got killed 4 months after we took the houses. So it was a tremendous time for me to recover. And without the team from people that supported us from the reclaimers, I don't think I would be here today. And it's crazy, not crazy, but today they sent me to another city. They relocated me. We need you guys to voice us to have these families to come back to El Sereno. The houses are empty, and all there is in the houses that I was passing by right now is pain. It's hard how we tried for 5 years. They see us getting ourselves back on our feet, working with the community, doing ourselves properly so they didn't have to continue saying that we're pieces of, excuse my language, of shit. We don't want to do nothing for ourselves. And today is the 6th year that my mom got killed.
lo siento.
And I was one of the first claimers that they evicted out.
Lo siento, hermana.
They moved me to another city, and I've been over there 8 to 9 months, and I still feel so lost. I had a car accident, almost got killed months after, and I went to get pencil. I had $125 in my pocket, and I was determined to go get pencil to MUP. And a gentleman here in Australia had an episode of diabetes, and an SUV truck hit me. He threw me up in the air, landed on my head down in the cement, and I'm still here.
Ashe. I wanted to first of all send you so much love, because we know that when we're in poverty and we're in struggle, all kinds of things happen to us, right? And then if our housing is unstable, it's yet another form of trauma. I'm just worried, also wanted to make sure that we go back to honoring Benito only because we have a limited amount of time. But I want to send so much love to you, hermana, for your power.
I keep going and going, but you know what? Look like the recent situation that we just encountered.
That part.
I cannot stop saying, I cannot believe the renters that they're next to his house. They're not even 10 feet away. Why couldn't they just do something? Call the police, call the coroners, call somebody.
Right.
2 days after, or I believe a couple of days after, we had to go out there, and the whole team, the whole like people that supported us were there. I rushed from Tokyo City all the way to see him and pay my respects to him and pray for him before they picked him up. But this is our home, and they sent us out. And with this, I'll cut myself short. I have so much to say, but in the building that I'm in, that I'm in the other day, brand new building, yeah, but I had 2 windows that I face walls. I don't even hear a bird. I suffer from tremendous depression over the fact of losing my partner.
Understand.
And to celebrate him, and somebody in the building jacked up the water things for when the ones that they put for like when there's fire, the sprinklers. So our building was flooding the other day. It was tremendous for me to deal with that.
So can I ask you, Roberto, to tell us a little bit about what happened for listeners and viewers who don't know?
So I think what Maria is talking about is everything that Benito has been fighting for, and that's dignified housing, and for all. It doesn't matter whether you have money or not. Housing should not be a commodity. Benito is fighting for housing not to be a necessity, not to be a commodity. And so it should be available for everyone. It doesn't matter whether you have money or not. You know, everybody deserves dignified housing. That's what Benito believed in. And so what happened is that Benito got evicted a couple months ago through court, and this was the 3rd time that HACLA, the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles, wanted to evict him and attempted to evict him and the other reclaimers, and they finally they were able to do it after the judge had been coaching them on the things they were doing wrong and why they weren't they were not able to evict them 2 times before. But they, through the instructions, they were able to evict, and then Benito promised to resist. We all, as ROH, decided that we would back up Benito, and then there were 2 other reclaimers who did not resist, but did not also were evicted forcibly, but did not resist in the way that Benito did. We agreed to focus on one resistance, and the reason for that is that Benito is an articulate. He was part of the intellectual machine, the intellectual effort that went into thinking through what ROH was all about. It wasn't about one person. It wasn't just about, my house, or, it was about the general condition, the general capitalist condition of not being able to be housed, children, elderly. And so Benito said, I'm going to resist for everyone that cannot. And so then he built a treehouse. And he says, I'm going to make it very difficult for people, for the sheriffs or the highway patrol to take me down. And so in that treehouse, he built a platform 30 feet up in the sky, in the tree, and then wasn't satisfied. He wanted to build different stations where he could make it very difficult for them to arrest him. And so he built 2 stations on other trees. So he built an elevator, and then he built a trolley that would go from one tree to the next.
Wow.
The creative type of resistance that we all should do.
Right.
We got to be creative. We got to be for everyone. We have to understand that when we fight for everyone and not focus on ourselves, that we too will benefit. But, that is an important lesson from Benito. He was working on the third station, and where he would trolley over to a third position, and that's where he slipped and fell. The neighbor didn't see him till on Friday. He must have fallen on either Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, because his body was already in the stages of decomposition when we found him on Friday. We had been calling him, and there was no answer. We thought he was downtown taking care of some business. And then he had told us that he was having problems with his phone. So we thought it was a phone problem. And then finally we find out that the neighbor called us and let us know that he's unconscious. She didn't want to get close to him. So this is from afar. I immediately went out there, and I saw him. As soon as I saw him, I knew he already had passed, maybe several days before. And so we honor Benito for his selflessness. Benito was not about himself. He was ready to live in a van. Benito was offered 4 years of free rent, and he refused it. He told them, when you offer everyone the same thing, or and make it permanent, not 4 years, but permanent housing, what am I going to do with 4 years? You know? So when that happens, then I will change my mind and say, yes, of course, that's what we want, permanent housing. The other message that Benito wanted very much to get out was that social housing, the concept of social housing, is something that needs to be developed by the people, by the bottom left. The people have to develop that concept, and not only develop it, but administer it. The people have to develop locally structures to administer housing. And so we cannot leave it up to the nonprofits to define social housing. We cannot leave it up to the government to define social housing. We have to define what social housing is. And if a nonprofit is going to administer social housing, we have to be there to make them accountable, to really develop it with accountability to the community first. And so that was Benito's other call for everyone to start discussions on what is social housing. And so then the other project that Benito was very anxious to launch was a rent strike for December 2026. That's a year and a half from now. And he knew that it needed time for people to understand that city council is too corrupt to control the rich, too corrupt to control rents or roll back rents. The city council is not going to do that. The people have to lay down the conditions for that to occur.
I just wanted to.
A rent strike would a citywide rent strike, or maybe a statewide rent strike, would then send a message to the politicians and to the landlords that either they're going to get less or they're going to get nothing.
That's beautiful. Roberto, we're running out of time, but I just wanted to say that, we're 100% with you. Benito actually came to Escuela de la Gente People School up at Homefulness and spoke on how he saw this as a model. This is what we try to do as poor and houseless people here at Homefulness. And I'm so 100% with that vision and want to lift up the love that you guys do. And how can people support you? Because we're running out of time, we have to move. But how can people support Reclaiming and the rent strike?
So we have a donor box for Benito to begin with. We need to help with the burial process, where they're trying to find next of kin. I think they found, excuse me, they found a next of kin, maybe, we're not sure. we got a phone call today of someone that might have found Benito's next of kin. But Benito, just to let you know, Benito was came here because they wanted to kill him in Mexico. Why did they want to kill him? Because of a land struggle where the government and corporations were trying to take his land, his family land, and he fought back. And he fought back in a way that was very powerful, and they went after him and they attempted to kill him. So that's how we got here to the U.S. Maybe a good 25 years ago. Amita wants to say something in Spanish. Is that okay?
So we literally have 1 more minute, but I just want to make sure that people, before you say that, that Reclaiming Our Homes, is that also online? So it's reclaiminghomes.org as well as Instascam and all that? What's your website for donations?
Yeah, so I'm going to have to send you the donor box because it has its own link.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how to give that to you except to send it to you.
Okay, that's fine. And just for folks to know, you can follow Reclaiming Homes on IG, and also we'll be putting out information as well. We'll end with Pamita. We only have less than a minute, and we love you so much. You know, we're with you 100%. And Mateo, Benito.
Well, let her first, that you already. Okay. No.
No. Okay, I'm not taking advantage, but I just wanted to say Benito was very committed to all 12 families as we came in. He was in charge of the donations as we came without clothes, no food, no nothing. And when I first came in here, me and my partner, I was not even talking. I was very tormented in my head, and he was always very kind, literally holding my hand to take me to get donations, and he gave me private, very thoughtful, and I feel that all 12 families should be reached out to for the work that we all done, especially Benito. He went to the maximum. He's a true fighter. I couldn't stay like he did. So I honor him, but I feel like all 12 families and other people should be honored to come back to the houses where they sent us out, and I personally feel not home. Benito, outstanding.
Thank you, family. We love you so much. Reclaiming Our Homes, Benito Flores. This is the work, and we do have to control our own. The power tricksters, they don't know what we need. No more about us without us. Dealing with the same thing up here, and that's like today at Power Trickster Shitty Hall. Thank you, relatives.
Muchas gracias.
We'll see you very soon, okay?
Muchas gracias.
All power to the people.
Gracias, Roberto.
All right.
Gracias a ustedes.
Gracias.
Bye, family.
Bye.
So you're listening to Poor People's Radio. That's PNN, not CNN. We're so happy that you're all here. We're sharing and dedicating today's show to Benito. And now we're going to be transitioning to this powerful movie that we put out as houseless people ourselves, knowing that we also have stories, knowing that one of the ways that we resist is through our cultural work, is through our poetry, is through our theater, is through our love, is through our prayer. So we actually created this powerful movie called Crushing Wheelchairs, about the violence of sweeping humans like we're trash. It focuses on 6 ancestors of this violence. We're going to see a little bit, and then we're going to talk about it.
They're coming for you. Wake up.
Side by side, chair frames and baby toys, jackets, toothbrushes, coffee cans, and pillows, wrapped up in paper bags made of memories, nylon homes buried under lives made of storms.
You have to go back to Charlie's. Please, don't leave me. Please.
I'll be back. Well, you need help with.
I'm a poverty scholar. That houseless mama. That houseless daughter.
I said, get the fuck out of my house.
I'm a poverty scholar. All those people they don't want to see, never want to be, look away from. What you gonna do, Oakland Burke?
Well, there you go, because we might have lost our FCC license, but you know how we do. So I'm blessed to have 3 of the fellow relatives who made this movie possible. I just want to say that we are not acting, we are living.
And Stephanie is on here too.
Oh, right. Stephanie, beautiful. Stephanie's here. And I know Stephanie's fighting with her anti-social worker. I'm supposed to be in that. Maybe we can just start by saying a little bit about what doing this movie about our life was like. Go ahead, Francis. You started off.
Yeah, it was a horrific reminder of sleeping up under the stars. It was traumatizing, and at the same time, medicine, not only for myself but for others who would see this film. I remember many times in the winter walking past houses and looking on the outside, on the inside, and hoping and praying, when will I get a set of keys to my home? Well, I did get a home, but then I got gentrified out of that home. But one thing I could say, I had the support of the community. But doing this role as Reggie, it reminded me of how our society does not care anything about the underserved. It reminded me of a horror movie and the police being the monsters, and how, just to see your belongings, your possessions out, for one thing, they're out in the open, and for another thing, for them to be just swept up like they didn't mean anything. I mean, whether it be my pictures of my youth or my mother's ashes, and just watching these things just being swept up like that was nothing. And playing that role of Reggie, and how she was robust and she was, working, and then all of a sudden just her decline because of the horrific capitalistic greed of land, property. So, it brought back a lot of memories, and but it was rewarding to be able to be a part of this cast, be part of this project.
Oh,
And I hope everyone who sees this film can relate, whether you're in the house or whether or not, but mainly for the people who are in the homes to understand, to see visually what it means to be on the street and to be swept up like trash.
Can I ask Stephanie, there was a lot that we all were embodying, specifically as we lifted up the stories of ancestors of this violence. And Stephanie, can you say a little bit about your experience with homelessness and what in your relationship to the ancestor that we were on, one of the ancestors we're honoring, who that was?
Hello. I want to say thank you for allowing me to be with you guys today. Doing the movie, even though we were not acting at all, we're telling our story. It humbled me doing it. It was very. It was a lot, going back to that day and reliving the story, the experience. I am now housed. Will it stay that way? Who knows? If it was up to them, probably not. I'm very grateful for how far I've come, but I know I would have never gotten this far if it wasn't for Homefulness. And you guys just lifted me up and carried me through so many stages since that very first day I met you. Unfortunately, Luis Gongora Pat was
Mm.
the victim of police brutality. And I will never forget that day as long as I live.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I definitely told myself I will never let his death go in vain. And he will forever be my guiding light for showing others how to have strength and build each other up instead of breaking each other down. We don't need that.
Mm.
They do that enough for us,
Okay.
you know?
Yes.
And I really feel like crushing wheelchairs will show everybody, just like Sister Francis said, will show everybody a taste of our reality.
Mm.
You know, they'll see it from our side.
Oh.
And I really believe that we are the ones that should be, you know, building homes and just like homefulness is,
Mhm.
you know, building our own houses and helping others and that's the way life is supposed to be.
Oh. I
That's
love
the
that.
way it's supposed to be.
I love that you said it that way, and I just want to lift up. It's so terrifying as we're holding the spirit of Benito right now, right? And the connections there. It's absolutely right, because Luis Gongora Pat, if listeners and viewers don't know, was essentially killed by SF police for being houseless and indigenous on the streets of so-called San Francisco. And that's what Sister Stephanie witnessed as a pregnant, houseless mama. I'm sorry, did you want to add something to that, babe? I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just.
Oh no, that's okay.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, it's terrifying that this violence of eviction and capitalism is actually killing us. Shouting out to Edward James Oakley, a so-called Vallejo, run over by a bulldozer, to Cornelius Taylor, so-called Atlanta. These aren't fictions that we're telling or speaking or praying over. They are happening. The system, the government, the capitalism, the stolen land government wants us all dead. And I wish that was just an exaggeration. But our resistance is that fight, again, in the spirit of Benito. I wanted to ask Dee if he'd be willing to read one of his beautiful poems from the movie. I do want to say that this movie, as Stephanie and Francis talked about, it's our story, really. It's our collective story. A lot of times when people see us on the street, they call us the homeless problem. They objectify us into a thing instead of humans. I think one of the most important pieces about this particular beautiful story, this movie, Crushing Wheelchairs, is that it tells each of our stories before we were on the street, before we were slept like we're trash, right? Before we were objectified into a thing that needs to be swept, i.e. equated with a torn paper cup. There are so many poets as well. We're all members of the Poets Project and cultural workers. There's beautiful poetry from Auntie Frances Moore, from Tongo, from Luis Gongora, sorry. Yes, your poetry too. Luis Rodriguez out of LA, to Devorah Major, to Wordslanger, Ayodele Wordslanger, and to my beautiful brother, D. Allen. Share one with us, Dee. And also anything you'd like to say as well. Excuse me.
From Skeletal Black, Poems from Beneath the Poverty Line. From Section 1, Poverty. This is called Mr. Hard Time. One afternoon, around my high school days, Grandma Lily took time away from sewing clothes and talk show on daytime TV to tell my little brother and me an important tale about a guest who often came uninvited. hard to predict his moves. Being a teenage girl and young mother in the Great Depression of the 1930s, she already knew the guests personally, as did her sister Vivian, her daddy Lonnie, and Lucy, her mama. In those days, there wasn't one person standing in a bread line or begging the next brother for a thin dime who hadn't met Mr. Hard Time. If you have no bread in the bread box, no fresh or frozen food in the refrigerator, no boxed or canned food in the cupboard, no coins filling up the mason jar, no dollars filling up your wallet, no way to pay the rent or clean your clothes, best believe that's when Mr. Hard Time comes for a house call, knocking at your door, counting on your despair, answering him. Let Mr. Hard Time in, and those hard times last longer.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Hard Time.
And I just want to lift up that Dee is also, again, we aren't acting, we're living. There's so many other powerful warriors. We also highlight the beautiful work of Wood Street Commons, our family, and their solutions, how our solutions of street communities are solutions, how our street, as you heard, Benito talked about social housing. We need to create it. We understand what we need, not politics. Today, we're going to this Measure W Politrickster session. Will that actually be for the people? Who knows? But we do know that we have our own stories and our own solutions. We urge you to support this movie. We have a lot to do to put it out. We need resources to release it. And so we really do need your help.
So we have a series of benefit showings of the trailers so we can release this important movie Medicine, and we need your help. While more and more of these settler towns are sweeping us like trash, the first one is on August 2nd at 6 p.m. in San Francisco at the Swim Gallery, located at 509 Ellis Street in so-called San Francisco, the Tenderloin District, with a panel discussion and Popo's performance. This is also the closing of our powerful art installation. The art of homelessness, so true. So come through, please, and help us release this powerful movie.
And I just want to also add that Brother Motiado, who's on the ones and twos and holding it down on the digital streets, which is really hard, is also a powerful player. To Sister Junebug, to Leger, to Will, to Mark, to all the warriors who, as we say, people we don't see, never want to be, look away from we. What you going to do, Oakland, Berkeley, Frisco, arrest we? We're in your city. So come support this warrior work and support actual poor people-led art. How about that? Poor people-led art and houseless people-led story creating and picture taking and movie making. Shout out also to Adrian, Green Diamond Projects, a badass Afro-Portuguese warrior who actually helped us create this into a movie, who has stood with us the whole way. We appreciate you. But we'll have posters, as you see on the screen right now. We'll have those available for free if folks want to take them and help us promote. And also, we're looking for venues. So if you, not for the whole movie, because we need to do these benefit screenings so we can release the movie, but benefit screenings of the trailer. If you have ideas, hit us up. We love you so much. Steve.
So that's all for this broadcast of Po People's Radio. You can follow us on Facebook, X, or Instagram at Po Magazine, at Poverty Scholar, and Po News Network on YouTube. You can also get this complete Po People's Radio podcast with all the interviews and conversations or any of our previous archived shows on iTunes, now called Apple Music, Spotify, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts. All
All
power to the people.
All power to the people.
What? Stephanie, I didn't know if you want to say any last words, son. You good?
Love you guys. Thank
Love
you.
you.
All
Love you.
right.
All right, family. This is Poor People's Radio. That's PNN, not CNN, relatives. Check back with us. We love you, and thank you for your digital street love, and thank you for the whole liberation, because change won't come from a savior, pimp, or an institution. Change will only come
From poor people live revolution.
Oh.